all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride. If I have things you need to borrow, for no one can feel those of your needs that you won't let go.
It's really good to be with you all here this morning to share my sister's story with you.
You get to hear a story. You get to hear an amazing story. A story about a girl named Rachel Scott.
This is what is going to change the culture of your school and change the lives of your students and your faculty members.
On April 20th, 1999, in Littleton, Colorado,
2 students walked into Columbine High School with guns and bombs
and proceeded to kill 12 students and 1 teacher.
It definitely got to my heart.
I was really moved by today's assembly, and I think we should do it all over the country.
It definitely chokes you up. For one thing, it's such a tragedy. So much good has come of it.
My daughter Rachel was the first one to be killed in the Columbine tragedy at Columbine High School.
Rachel's Challenge today has had an absolute phenomenal impact.
It was everything I expected it to be and more.
About 2 weeks after her death, her family discovered an essay she wrote for 5th period class.
And I found it underneath her bed. It was caught on the mattress springs.
And the essay was called My Ethics, My Codes of Life.
But I think that this assembly should be seen by every junior high and every senior high kid in the United States of America.
In this essay, Rachel challenged her reader to start what she called
a chain reaction of kindness and compassion.
It, reached my heart. That really reached me deeply.
It was really good. It really inspired me to be kind.
She said, I have this theory. If one person will go out of their way to show compassion,
then it will start a chain reaction of the same.
People will never know how far a little kindness can go.
I think Rachel's challenge is one of the most important messages out there today.
It's giving students permission to reach out, to be kind, to be positive.
Rachel's challenge gives you an opportunity where you have kids coming to the forefront, and they're the ones deciding to step up and bring about this cohesive community that caring is important.
Another goal that Rachel wrote was on the back of her dresser when she was 13 years old.
She drew an outline of her hands.
And inside the tracing she wrote,
"These hands belong to Rachel Joy Scott
and will someday touch millions of people's hearts."
And by the time my family and I read this had already come true.
And over the past 9 years since Rachel died, over 11 million people have heard the story about her.
A lot of people are already trying to be nice to people and remember Rachel's challenge.
We have 6 basic belief systems, and we think that Rachel's challenge reflects each one of those.
In my 20 years in education, I've never seen a program like Rachel's Challenge that includes every element that I, as a school principal, is trying to infuse in my student body and in my community.
One of the things that we've realized with Rachel's Challenge is that you can't go tell kids, stop being prejudiced. Our purpose statement says that we want to go to the student's heart, and then we're going to go to their head. The first thing we do is we tell them to eliminate all prejudice in their life, and we see it happen because we go directly to their heart. The second thing we do is we say, keep a journal, keep diaries, set goals, and the kids begin to do it because we went to their heart. The third thing we tell them to do or ask them to do is to be aware of your influences, because your influences make such a big impact in your life. And we get testimony after testimony of students changing the influences in their life to have positive influences. The fourth challenge that we leave them when we're in the schools is that we say the little things can do so much, because Rachel did the little things. And we challenge the students to not only do the little things in their schools, but to do it in their communities and to do it in their homes. And that's where your legacy's left, with those small things. And the fifth challenge that we leave them is we tell them not only to love on those those kids at school who need it, to love on those kids who are new at school, to love on the handicapped kids, but we also challenged him to leave and go find 5 people in the next week that mean a lot to them in their lives and to show how much they appreciate them. And what happens because of the fact that we start with the heart and not with the head is we see it happen instantaneously. We get thousands of emails after we've been in schools talking about how the students' life's been changed because we start with the heart.
Students hear the story of a young girl who was new at school and had no friends. No one knew that her mom had just died in a car wreck and that she and her dad and brothers had just moved to Colorado from Atlanta, Georgia. They see a reenactment of how Rachel went out of her way to sit with this new student at lunchtime, introducing her to new friends. They hear about a young man who was born with handicaps and was planning to commit suicide on the day that Rachel intervened on his behalf and stopped others from teasing him. They hear the story of another young man who was taunted with racial slurs just moments before he died, sitting beside Rachel's brother Craig in the library at Columbine. They see segments of her diaries that will amaze them. They actually read things she wrote about her premonitions of dying at a young age, and at the same time of having an impact on millions of lives.
Won't be long till I'm gonna